In our household, we have two cats. This is Cal, and then over here is Joy. We also have two vacuums. One of them is a Dyson, and the other is this brand new UWANT V500 self-emptying vacuum cleaner. And so what we're going to do is we're going to compare both of these vacuum cleaners. We have a lot of pet hair to clean up, so let's get to it. So we'll go ahead and start with the Dyson V6 vacuum cleaner. This is one that we've had for years and we've used on a frequent basis to clean our home. As I mentioned, we have two cats, so the hair can definitely accumulate in all of the corners, and the Dyson does a good job getting to those corners. There's also different attachments that we can use to tackle the couch, and it's also long enough to where if we wanted to clean the shades, it's easy to do that. It also operates at a quiet level, but the one thing I will say about this is that it only gives about 15 minutes of operation before the battery dies. And so you really have to be quick and efficient with your cleaning, and then you have to put it back on that port charger, which hangs on the wall. You also have to frequently get debris and dust out of the container. And we've also had it clog a few times where we have to disassemble the vacuum cleaner to get certain things out of it so that it functions again. But overall, it's been a good vacuum cleaner for us. Now let's talk about the V500 cordless self-emptying vacuum cleaner. This is something that was just sent to us, and we were really impressed with how easy it was to assemble. It didn't take us long at all to figure out how this works, and there are many differences between this and the Dyson V6. One thing, for example, is that you will put together this tower where the vacuum cleaner charges itself. And I like that because you can just stick this in a corner. It doesn't take up a lot of space. But also, when you plug the vacuum cleaner into the docking station, it actually does a self emptying automatic feature that I've never seen on any other vacuum cleaner. And it will go through the process, and then there's this bag on the inside of that docking station where the vacuum cleaner is essentially dropping all that dust and hair into the bag, and then you empty it whenever you feel is appropriate, so you can let it go for weeks before you actually empty that into the trash. And so I thought that was really impressive that this is a self-emptying vacuum. Also, when you are actually operating this, you'll notice that there's a bright green light on the end of that, and it really helps us because in low light situations, it really lights up the area so you can see the hair and the dust and the dirt that you are tackling, and it illuminates it so that you can make sure you're getting all of it with that deep clean that we're all looking for. And that's considered green light dust detection, which is said to make the cleaning 3 times more effective. And that's something that we certainly have seen ourselves. So in addition to the self-emptying technology, which is amazing, you also have the different attachments that you can use. And we tested this out on the couch, and it was taking care of all of the pet hair on the couch very easily. And there's another attachment where you can tackle crevices and cracks. And for our couch, it was important to have this available so that we could get in deep. And then I will also say that when you are actually moving this along the floor, it turns very easily, much easier than the Dyson. And you can operate this at the low power level for 60 minutes straight. So you can get an hour of cleaning before you have to put this back in the charger. And it doesn't take that long for this to charge up. So overall, I really like the V500 cordless self-emptying vacuum cleaner. I think we're going to get a lot of use out of it. In conclusion, you do have two great vacuum cleaners here, but I will point out a couple of things. With the Dyson, when you're operating this, it's really only going to give you 15 minutes of runtime on a single charge, and it takes 4 hours to fully charge. Compared to the UWANT vacuum cleaner, you can actually vacuum continuously for 60 minutes on low mode, and then when it's time to recharge, not only does it charge faster at 3 hours, but also when you place it on this docking station, it is going to go through the self-cleaning process where you don't have to worry about emptying it into the trash can until you're ready to take the bag out of that. So the technology is really amazing with UWANT. I think it's a great vacuum cleaner, especially for those of you who have pets at home. And be sure to check the product link in the description so you can learn more about this vacuum cleaner. And I hope this helped you at home. Thanks for watching.